Callum Johnson stops Emil Markic in 2 rounds. Oh, boy, this was an exciting shootout. Um, Both guys really just came out, no intention of setting shots up, really, no intention of throwing straight shots, no feeling out, straight out with the hooks and uppercuts. Um, yeah, this is another very entertaining fight. I've got to be honest, I didn't even know it was happening this weekend. I knew about the Cash Bentley fight. Didn't really bother to look up the undercard, but this proved to be a pleasant surprise for the fans anyway, and at least Callum Johnson. So yeah, it was a good fight. Where to start with the performance? Callum Johnson, I feel, fought very recklessly, almost like he had no regard for the man in front of him. It's quite strange actually as well. Both guys fought in a very similar way, and they both had the same coloured shorts, black with gold trim and waistband, which is is ironic. Um, Callum Johnson was just looking to come out and hit Markic as hard as he could. Um, and look, you could say, oh, well, it worked after all that strategy because he got him out of there in 2 rounds. But that wasn't before almost getting sent to the canvas himself. After trading leather for for the first round, I believe it was the second round where Callum Johnson walked into a right hand while Markic was on the ropes, and yeah, he almost took a knee. Markic made Callum Johnson do the stanky leg for a second, out of the blue as well, because I don't think Markic had really landed anything of note prior to that moment. But it proved to be an exercise in futility, because even though he came close to putting Callum Johnson down, Callum Johnson didn't go down, and he proceeded to knock 7 bells out of Markic. And that was really it. Just like the Felix Cash Denzel Bentley fight, this post-fight review will probably be longer. I've heard from I think Hatman's video that the kind of narrative was that Callum Johnson wanted to come out and prove something to he wanted to make a statement to the light heavyweight division, and also to Frank Warren, who he's recently teamed up with. And you could definitely tell. But also, I feel like the criticism that Callum Johnson has received since the Beterbiev fight has definitely been playing on his mind, because he fessed up himself. He said that he froze. And I think now he's, at least from this performance, he's trying to go above and beyond to make sure he doesn't freeze. But even that being said, I feel like he hurt Markic earlier, before the stoppage. And Markic, his legs clearly buckled just for, a second or two. And Callum Johnson didn't jump on him. So I don't know whether Callum Johnson just missed it, because of course, we're watching from home. We have the best seat in the house, really. But nevertheless, you could tell that Callum Johnson wanted to come out and make a statement. And in the process, fought very recklessly. And yeah, it wasn't the best advert for Callum Johnson. I think this is someone who people are well aware of, doesn't have time on his side right now. He is in his mid-30s, I think, and he hasn't really achieved that much in his career. Don't get me wrong, he's achieved more than a lot of boxers, but I think this is someone who a lot of people had high expectations for. He has power. He has a decent amateur pedigree, if I remember correctly. And I think because he's a likable guy, people want him to achieve more. So he definitely has to get a move on, but he happens to be in one of the steepest divisions in the entire sport. That being said, I feel like he does have, he has a puncher's chance. And he kind of proved that, to be honest, because he's obviously put down Beterbiev before. But even in this stoppage, after a while, Markic kind of just shelled up, So he was obviously intimidated by the power. And Callum Johnson just wailed away, just trying to sink these shots in left hands, right hands, mostly hooks, to be honest. And yeah, I think he just smashed Markic on the bridge of the nose while he was covering up on the ropes, and Markic just sank, sank down to one knee, and referee jumped in, and the fight was over. So at the bare minimum, we do know that Callum Johnson still has his power, and that power most likely will never leave. I was just concerned about any skill that this guy does have. He's completely dispensed with it because he's so eager to impress and probably prove to himself more than anyone that he's a good fighter and that he can knock anyone out. And I think the Beterbiev loss is still playing on his mind because, it looked as if that fight was, his to lose. But, fighters, they have periods where they do have to shake off these things. And maybe this is his way. Maybe he'll think, you know what, I didn't do well enough against Markic. I can't just punch my way through everyone. I'm going to have to actually employ some skill. But I'm kind of just rambling on right now because there wasn't that much to talk about in the fight. I think there's a lot of talk about who's next. Personally, I think though he has a puncher's chance, Callum Johnson is going to be up against it. Probably his best chance, if he wants to kind of gain some momentum, might be to fight Lyndon Arthur next. Because, yeah, Lyndon Arthur is tall, has decent power of his own, and seems to have decent skills. I feel like he's maybe has some vulnerabilities, at least in terms of his punch resistance. And Callum Johnson might be able to exploit those, assuming that he can even reach Lyndon Arthur. But then, of course, Lyndon Arthur may be tied up with the Anthony Yarde rematch. So, yeah, it was good to see Callum Johnson get another stoppage and hopefully gain some momentum because he is an interesting addition to the division. And I guess we still see where he goes next. But other than that, good stoppage, not great performance. Can't really say much more, to be honest. So yeah, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to discuss this fight in the comments, feel free to leave one and I'll get back to you. And if you like the channel, subscribe and get this ball rolling. Thanks, guys.